Congratulations, Angela, on 10 years.
Thanks, Kelsey. I can't believe it's been that long.
It's an awesome achievement.
It is.
So can you tell us what your first week or month was like at BRR?
So I came in at kind of an interesting time because Chris Ray was transitioning from his CEO role to his chairman of the board role. So he was there on my first day, and he gave me this list of things he wanted me to accomplish in my first year. And then he was just kind of in and out after that, and I was just kind of back in the corner just doing my own thing. So it was good, but it was definitely an interesting transition in for me.
What is it like to be the only lawyer working with a bunch of architects and designers?
Well, I can tell you it's a whole lot better than a lawyer working with a bunch of other lawyers, so definitely an improvement there. It can be a little isolating, but I've been lucky to be adopted by a lot of different people in studios, and people are great about integrating me into their lives here at BRR, so I don't feel completely alone.
What is the hardest thing, though, about when you get a challenge or a task and you don't have other lawyers to work with?
It is difficult. You know, you guys could turn around and say, hey, I need help with this issue that I'm dealing with, and there's other people who have similar experiences. But for me, I'm kind of like, hey, Google.
Thank goodness for Google.
Let me see what I can find. So that can be a little bit difficult.
Yeah. So how do you navigate situations where there's no playbook?
Well, a wise attorney during law school once told me that the most important way to be successful as a lawyer is to make sure everybody likes you. So I think that's always a good start. It's good for lawyers and good for you guys as well. You know, if you can build a good relationship with the people that you're working with, then you can kind of throw the playbook out the window anyway and say, this is what has to get done and how can we problem solve it together. So I always try to be likable.
Well, you're doing a good job.
I tell people, I'm not a mean attorney, really. I'm fun to talk to. Come chat to me anytime.
So since 2011, how has your role changed?
I feel like I'm involved in a whole lot more aspects of BRR. Just there's been continual integration of me into all these different things. One thing that I think was a surprise is after a couple of years, I think James had me do some legal trainings, and then he was like, you're really good at that, you should do more training. And so I feel like I do a whole lot more training than I anticipated in this role, which is great. I enjoy it. It's also a great way for me to get to know people in the studios that I wouldn't necessarily interact with just from an agreement review standpoint.
So for those of us who have gone through Angela trainings, do you think we are learning anything in the legal world?
I think absolutely. BRR is amazing about risk management, and that's just a joy for an attorney because a lot of attorneys have a very different experience where it's like, don't sign that, it's the worst agreement in the world. And they're like, yep, signing it right now. So I'm really lucky to have people who are actually listening and understanding why it's important to not sign things that have bad clauses. So you guys are learning and you're great to work with from that perspective.